Okay. So let's take some kind of small survey. How many people are in the different technology and they're trying to switch over from Java to Hadoop or .NET to Hadoop? From these 25 people, and somebody describe why you want to change your career now. What made you to change your career now? Okay, one is a job security.
Need to update the technology.
Need to update the technology.
Because Hadoop is the booming thing in next for next years.
Okay.
Next 5 years.
So I'll tell you about whether the Hadoop is moving or not. Actually, the IT is shifting. There is a IT market. The whole business is shifting now to the next phase. Okay, it is currently the Hadoop is not important phase for the IT industry. The current IT industry is moving towards on the automation side, on test automation, on Selenium, ALM, QTP, robotics. These kind of way, this automation industry is most widely rapidly growing in this, particularly in the IT industry, is the number one field in the growth pattern. Second field is the data analytical activities, data science. In this data science, not only the Hadoop is moving, it is moving widely on the data visualization, machine learning, Hadoop programming of data analytical activities.
Mani,
Yeah.
your voice is bit breaking, Mani. Your voice is bit breaking.
Let me check.
Unable to hear it properly.
Let
Yeah,
me
sure.
Let me check. Is it breaking now only, or previously also there is a slight breaking?
Yeah, previously for the past 5 to 10 minutes there was some interrupted voice disturbances.
Okay. One second. Check it. I think my power band is it audible now? I taken mic very
Yes.
closer. Okay.
Yeah, Mani.
Okay.
Yeah, Mani. Much better.
Good.
Thank you.
Okay. So in the current IT is right now it's a shifting phase. There is a possibilities of so many layoffs is going to happen for down the line of next 6 months of time. But there are many scientists they have predicted the Hadoop or data science technology is going to become the next IT industry software for next 10 years of time. Okay. And first thing is automation. The automation is going to make the IT industries much more faster and growth pattern. That automation field will help the people to run the business successfully for next few years. The automation like a Selenium, ALM, QTP, those things will be next 5 years. They have predicted this life cycle time. And then for DevOps tool, that's the third level of that is it comes around 7 years of time. The DevOps tools will be into deployment activities and then the automation related activity, all the things, the development plus operation. DevOps is nothing but development plus operation. So previously there is a SDLC model is there, right? Software development lifecycle. So normally what they will do, they'll do the analyze, design, development, coding, testing, deployment. That's our normal SDLC process, right? So the same process last 20 years they have followed. The business is grown like anything, and now the competitors are there taking the business. Okay, it is like one people is trying to do the software for per hour $20, and some other people they are trying to do the same business for $10. Okay, then the people are not getting the right business opportunities. They have to reduce the cost, right? When they want to reduce the cost, what they need to do? They need to reduce the people. They cannot reduce the people on the immediately, but they are trying to apply this some kind of process, methodology, strategy. By the way of they can able to run the business for very successfully. Previously, the developer they will do the developer job, tester will do the tester job, system administrator do the deployment jobs, and then the system administrator activity jobs. So they need to, for one project, 20 developers, 10 tester, 5 system administrator, 2 project manager, a team leader, 1 delivery manager, program manager, the country manager. All this kind of way they have operated, right? It cost more them. So that's why they're applying the DevOps technology where there is an automated build solution. There is automatically that need to be built, automatically need to be deployed, so that I can reduce the system administrator cost. I no need of 5 system administrator or 3 system administrator. Remove them. System administrator. That's going to be layoff going to happen on the down the line of when the DevOps is implemented down the line of 1 year and 2 year of time. And second one is the testing job. Whoever is performing the manual testing, they have no job security for next 2 to 3 years of time. They have to themselves, they have to convert into an automated tester. Automation testing is like a Selenium tool, ALM or QTP that's most widely used across the industry. Okay. Instead of that 10 tester, people trying to do the automated jobs and they want to reduce the number of tester, 10 is to 1. If 10 developers are there, only one tester need to be there for testing their activity, and there is another tester is required, 10 is to 2 kind of model. For one tester need to do the automated activity, that will going to reduce the 8 more tester on their project activity. That is reducing the cost. And then the developer, now the operation model is, why I need to have the tester? Remove the tester also. The developer themselves need to do the testing. Developer themselves need to do the test development activity. Developer themselves need to do the system administrator deployment activity through the automated tools. That's where their focus is going. So that's called DevOps, development plus operation. Clear on this? That is the third vertical it is growing on the IT industry. First one is the automation. Second one is the data science, Hadoop, Big Data, Hive, HBase, Pig, Spark, Scala, Elasticsearch, Tableau, and then it is going through the machine learning. These are the vertical, it is growing. And third one is the DevOps model that is rapidly growing. And fourth one is the Agile model, Agile methodology. They're trying to do the sprint model and then the product breakdown way. Sprint model, it will work through the rapid development activities through Agile methodology. These are the 4 different models. Whoever is in this focusing their career path, you have to focus either automation or data science and DevOps or Agile model. These kind of 4 different ways you can able to focus your career path. If you are focusing on the automation side, next 5 years you have the job security. If you are focused on data science, next 10 years you have the job security. If you focus on DevOps, you'll have a 7 years of job security. If you focus on Agile, 5 years of job security is there. These are the ways it will be progressing. And when you consider the DevOps as well as the Agile, those are not the real development activity, rather than it is like a DevOps may be the development activity, but Agile is the process oriented activities. For whoever is developing the Hadoop projects, they have to follow the Agile process. Whoever is developing the test automation, they have to follow the Agile methodology. Whoever is doing the DevOps project, they have to follow the Agile methodology. So now the focus area should be three times. Is one is the Hadoop development, sorry, automation side, and then data science, Hadoop developer. Then third one is the DevOps. Agile is by default. Clear on this? So any technology people from Java background or Oracle people or .NET people, they can shift their career to the Hadoop technology for next 10 years of the growth. Clear on this? So what is a Hadoop? Hadoop is a kind of framework that is a distributed computing technology. It will work in a normal commodity software. Nowadays, through cloud computing, people are applying this. So next 1 year, the cloud computing technology like AWS, cloud computing technology is going to rapidly grow. So you have to add that as the 5th technology. Cloud computing, AWS, it's most widely Azure. These are the most widely growing IT industry technologies. First one is the test automation, like a Selenium tool, ALM, QTP. If somebody is a tester, somebody is a manual tester, please immediately quit your activities and move further to the test automation side and robotic side. And second is, if you want to become a data scientist or data analytical, then learn the Hadoop, Big Data, MapReduce, Hive, Pig, Spark, Scala, HBase, then Mahout. All these things you have to learn through that, and then based on that you can move on to that. And then if you want to become a data visualization, then follow the learning of Tableau and QuickSense. These are the things. And if you want to become a machine learning programmer, then follow the Python and R programming and then the machine learning algorithms. So these are the ways you have to learn. But all the software, most widely Python is used. It is better to learn the Python language rather than the Java language. So next thing is we'll understand about the various job opportunities. If you learn what are the technology, what kind of salary I'll get. If you are, want to become a Hadoop developer, you'll get around $1,08,000 of dollars of salary. If you want to become a MongoDB person, you'll get a 1,07,825 rupees of salary. And if you want to become a R programming, like a statistical machine learning people, that will get the 1,15,000 of salary. No SQL. If you learn the Pig programmer, Pig using Pig, you get a 1,09,000 of 561 salary. Crescentra, you'll get a 112 for 382 of dollars of salary, and Hive is the 1,02,812 of dollars of salary, and HBase is 1,05,295 rupees of salary. So these are the different varieties of the technology jobs are available in the current IT industry. Okay. Okay, so now we'll move to the next phase of our webinar session. Now we'll focus on how to prepare your resume, how to prepare your interview questions, and what are the things you have to prepare. That things we'll learn. Are you ready?
Yes, yes, yes.
So I'll take the slides up on that one. Just give me a moment. So meanwhile, anybody has any question, please ask me.
Mani sir,
Yeah.
I would have completed my certificate courses in Big Data.
Okay.
Being a fresher, how could I get job in this sector, sir?
Okay, I'll tell you that. So have you prepared your resume?
I'm just a fresher.
Yeah, I understand. So have you prepared your resume on what kind of technology? Put in Hadoop, and what kind of project you put?
No, sir, I didn't any complete my project. Just I attended my training 3 months.
Okay. For only for training, and then if you're completing that kind of thing, it is very difficult to get the job in the global company. But it is not difficult. You have to keep trying that. And but you can kickstart your job in the any other technology also. Being a fresher, you no need to focus only on the data scientist job, but you can able to join either the automation side or data science, Hadoop development side, data visualization side, or become the business analyst side. Whatever the job offers comes, you just enter into the any small level or mid level or global level of company. Any company you try to join. Okay, it can be any kind of technology. Don't worry, if you can able to lead into Hadoop technology little later stage. Okay, after a 3 months of time, 6 months of time, you can anytime you can quit the job and then you can move out. But don't delay that. Only if your focus of mindset, if I need to apply for Hadoop job, through that way. Okay, if somebody is giving me doing
Okay, sir.
manual tester, please go and attend that. So after that, from there you can become a Hadoop tester also. Okay, you can mount yourself, you can mold yourself in any kind of technology later at the time, but focus on the whatever job you're getting. That way you have to focus.
Yeah, or else I want to study developer side. Is this okay for training?
No, that's not okay now. So it is maybe little later stage only it is required for you. After connecting or after joining any kind of technology, then you can focus 3 months of time or 6 months of down the line. Once you're comfortable on the current company environment, that will take 3 months of time. Okay, how IT industry is working, what are your friends, how the clients discussion, rather than the Hadoop development activity now you more focus on to the how to get a job, on how to work in the company, how to get the company's training. The company training itself take a 6 month of period. Some company, they'll Infosys or TCS or Cognizant, they'll provide 3 months of training. So that 3 months of training when you're doing, when you're parallelly you're doing the Hadoop, it will clash you and then it will be lead to in a different stage. Rather than take your time, and there are lifetime is there for very long, and focus now for the current environment of job, how to get a job, how to get the company's training, those kind of way, include the group discussion, communication, work environment skill, and mingling with the team. That is a more focused way now. Then later, once you are trying to move out of the job from 1 year later or the 2 years later, during that time you attend the Hadoop trainings, then you focus on the career part of this. But you can do the self-study initially now. Rather spending the amount now, focus on the self-study and attend the interviews. I'm
Yeah, okay, sir.
just opening the Google Drive now for showing some sample resumes and questions. Okay, I'll just show some of the questions for you. Are you able to see my screen now? Visible?
Slides are not visible to me, sir.
Not slides, it's a browser kind of way.
Yeah.
Google Drive is there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, now it's visible.
Okay. Okay, I want to show some of the sample CVs. Maybe consider these are sample CVs. Okay, it's not like if any names are specified or any company specified, don't consider it directly. Okay, so these some of the sample CVs I can able to demonstrate to tell you various levels of people how they will prepare their Hadoop CVs, and then the how to prepare, you have to prepare. Okay, for example, somebody is in the different technology of Java or .NET or any kind of, I'm sorry, and to hide this contact details, I'm sorry to showcase that. Okay, so when somebody is having this kind of technology side, okay, so we have to prepare a very decent resume first. That will make you to getting the job opportunities almost 50 to 60% of chances. When somebody is reading the your resume, that need to provide you that okay, he's a good person on this technology. He can able to do the coding level. That confidence need to create by the way of the CV preparation or resume preparation. Okay, so that way you have to focus more into this CV preparation is to more time rather than the question preparation. Okay, so first level you have to prepare this in a very standard format of, so you have to be very clearly describe what is your objective and then what is your professional summary. I will share some of these sample CVs or maybe content to everyone of our big data community. You can just reutilize that for an effective preparation of the CV. Okay, so you have to be very clearly prescribe this technology. What are the technology you're working? These kind of keywords. When you are using the keywords, when people are searching your CV, they will focus on the keywords. Okay, it need to be when seeing they might be Hive project, they might be Scoop project, they might be having Hadoop project. These kind of way you have to prepare. Kafka and Spark, Pig and Flume. These kind of way you have to prepare and clearly describe having experience on writing the Hive queries and Pig script. And when somebody is reading, they'll take only for 2 minutes of time for reading your resume. Okay, so that need to be in a bullet point of way and need to be clearly described what are the technology aware and how you are working, what kind of project you're working. So what kind of technology from where to where you're working, what kind of client, the description need to be clear, and what is your responsibility. This should be there on your resume. Okay, whenever you're putting any kind of project and specify on your responsibility, what are the day-to-day life of activity you're performing. This is very important when you're preparing on your resume. Handling the heterogeneous data source of RDB, streaming the different file format, develop the Uzi workflow. These are the important things when you're doing the Hadoop Hadoop related CVs. Okay, that to be very clearly given the detailed roles and responsibility and project details. So this is the right manner of preparation of the CV when you're preparing Hadoop kind of CVs. Okay, that will be very clear. Focus on your, don't focus on your the previous .NET project or maybe other projects. Focus on only the current project, how you want to get the job. These kind of way you have to prepare. Okay, I've done more than 20,000 interviews across the industries. Okay, in Hadoop and Big Data, I have done more than 7,000 interviews alone. I've seen many profile, and then I can able to list out what are the different people do the mistake and how they are unable to answer the questions. What are the questions we normally tend to ask, and then what are the way you have to answer. Those kind of way have to be practice more into day-to-day life, how to answer the questions. So I'll share some of the profile later. I'll show some of the profile also after when we are discussing this. Let's focus on understanding certain questions. Okay, these are some of the available questions in the internet. You can just get download, or maybe I'll share. I have around a databases of around 5,000 questions normally for Hadoop interviews. Okay, so from that, I just want to show some of the questions from the internet, be it's normally available. We'll discuss few questions now. Okay, if I'm interviewer and you are going to attend my interview, and what are the different questions you have to focus, and what are the answers you have to inform to the interviewer. Okay, that way this webinar will continue for around 5 webinars we'll do on how to answer what are the various questions on this technology. Based on that, we can do the different type of based stuff. Okay, but normally we do for different way, but it's okay. For webinar way, we'll do in a different way. Okay, shall we go for some questions? Are you okay for discussing some Hadoop interview questions?
Sure, sure.
Okay, so when you're attending for any kind of interview, normally you have to be well versed on that particular technology, rather well versed on the technology. You have to prepare yourself in a question bank. Okay, you have to search through internet and get the some of the common questions. Prepare like this. Okay, this is containing around 100 questions. Similar way, I have around 200 documents that may have around 20,000, 10,000, 20,000 different questions. But normally the questions will be comes from the practical oriented, scenario oriented. Okay, when you are being experienced guy, you need to be understand what is the questions you have to answer. Okay, that level of things you have to focus. But now we'll focus on the theory oriented of questions, what normally the people will ask. By the way, of when we are growing in, when we are moving to the next level, next webinar, I'll make this as a complex questions, what the real interviewer they'll ask. For that, what is the answer you have to go. Okay, so now we'll understand the technology. If you're studying Hadoop 1.0 and 2.0, what is the difference between Hadoop 1.0 and 2.0? This is a normal question. It's a very, very basic questions. We'll try to answer now. Okay. So what is the difference between Hadoop 1.0 and 2.0? Can somebody describe that? What you are understanding about Hadoop 1.0 and 2.0? What is the Hadoop difference between Hadoop 1, 2, and 3? It should be interactive mode. Please answer that. There is the answer is there. Don't see the answer. What is the normally your understanding of Hadoop 1.0? What is Hadoop? I think that could be our first question, I believe. Okay. Yes. Okay, now tell me, what is Hadoop? It could be your first question.
Solution for big data?
No, that's not a right answer.
It's a kind of framework which solves a big data problem.
That is also very partially correct, but it's also wrong answer. Hadoop is in a framework, that's true. But what kind of framework it is? Java also framework, .NET also framework. Simply saying that, okay, Hadoop is a framework, what is meaning of framework? What does it do? Why we are found with framework? What is Hadoop, first of all? Why they found as a Hadoop?
Storage and processing framework.
Distributed.
That's a keyword. That's a keyword. Yes. So Hadoop is the distributed data processing framework. Okay. So when maybe in our slides, I'll show you that. No, that's wrong. Uses MapReduce concept. That's not Hadoop. Hadoop is different. MapReduce is different. HDFS is different. MapReduce is different. We'll see that. One slider we'll see. Slide. Okay. So this is the slide for that. Okay, leave it. It's unable to find that in this video. I'll tell you about the background of that. It's absolutely in 1 minute. Okay, now it's found it. Sorry for the delay, guys. No, that is not the Hadoop. That's Snega, whatever your answer is, not that one. Okay, so if you want to tell the answer of the Hadoop, you have to be more focused on these keywords of distributed processing of the large data set, a complex data sets can be processed, which is not able to process on the normal commodity, that means normal data source, databases. Okay, Apache Hadoop it's a framework that allows for a distributed processing of large data set, and it can able to perform clusters of commodity computers using simple programming model. Okay, Apache Hadoop is the open source software. It is flexible and scalable and distributed computing. This has been found by the Dr.Maniakntan and Mike Krefella. These two people only they have written this Hadoop software. Apache Hadoop is a framework that allows for the distributed processing of the large data sets across the clusters of commodity computing. What is the commodity computing? Commodity computing is the normal your PC. Does not require a high-end servers. It is a distributed computing means if you are connecting 10 computer, you will get a 10 different computer power. If you connect 100 computer, it will process the data in a 10 different computer. That's called distributed way. Then it will produce your output. That's a distributed computing. What are the various Hadoop daemons and their roles in the Hadoop clusters? Okay, that's a question. Can somebody answer for this? What are the list of various Hadoop daemons and then their roles in the Hadoop clusters? Guys, it's a very simple question and straightforward. What are the Hadoop
Name
tools?
node, data, job tracker, task tracker.
Daemons and all, it's like a service. Okay, what are the Hadoop service and their roles in the Hadoop clusters? Daemons are components.
Name node,
Okay, name node. Name node,
Data node,
data node,
job tracker, task
job tracker,
task tracker.
storage node,
task tracker,
That's all. Secondary name node.
secondary node. We'll see that. First one is the data node. Okay, data node is the one of the data node. We'll call it as data node or name node. That will provide the name for each 64 MB block. Okay, it is like a server. The big data is not working as a client server model. It is working as a master and slave. We'll call it as a name node or data node. So for example, it's master node or a name node, which is the main node. Okay, data node is different, master node is different. Master node and name nodes are both are same. Data nodes are will work under the database. That's a data node in the client machine, like a slave PC. That 64 MB block size will be called as a data block. That data blocks, couple of data blocks will be work under the like a PC, like a clusters. They'll call it as a data node. One computer is called as a data node. That's a slave node. And then you have a name node. Okay, name node or master node will be in the server side or master side. That will provide the name for your data blocks, and data node will process your data. It's a slave node. And secondary name node, it is periodically it will take a backup of your name node and store into a it's like a metadata. It will take a copy. If any failure is happened, it will not act as the secondary name node, will act as the um, uh, slave for your name node. Okay, that's another interview question. Whether the name node is the name node, what is the difference between name node and secondary name node? Can somebody answer for this? If name node fail, can your system will work even though we have secondary name node?
No, it does. It will not.
It will not work. Why? If data node is failure, one data node is failure, you have a distributed computing, the same replicated copy is available in the second other data node. If one data node is failure, it can able to work on the second data node from the other PC. I have the data backup of name node as the backup of secondary name node. It can take that as the backup and then it need to work, right? Why it is not working?
Because for data node, we can mention the replication factor. But name node, I don't think we
Name
can
node and
mention
secondary name
any.
node also having the replication. That is taking a backup of whatever the name node. It is the
Name node is
periodically it is
having.
taking a
And the
backup and then
metadata.
maintaining.
The Hadoop admin has to manually reconfigure the secondary name node as primary name node.
No,
That is active name.
that's not answer. Give me 10 seconds, I'll come back. Just try to understand this concept. That's the main concept of your Hadoop. Okay, I'm back. So what is a data node? What is a name node? What is a master node? What is a secondary name node? Can somebody quickly describe that? We'll move to the next question. If data node is failure, it is taken from the next data node, right? If name node is failure, you have a replications of same data replicator of image copies are there. Why secondary name node is not taking? What is the purpose of secondary name node? I'm asking the interview question. What is the difference between a name node and secondary name node? That's your first question in your interview.
Secondary name node will periodically copy the metadata contained in name node. It acts as a backup node, but it does not get into active immediately when name node fails.
Okay, I'll tell you that. That's the right answer. Okay, if master node failure, all your systems will need to be shut down. There is no need, it's not able to process anything. The secondary name node will act as the backup of your name node. It is not exact backup, but near future or near historical data, 1 hour back, 2 hours back, 10 minutes back. Some data will be taken and replicated from the master node and keep it as the backup image. Okay. And whenever master node, then it is need to be cross verifying that whether it's working properly or not, it will go and verify with this secondary name node. Okay, what is the data I'm processing? Whether I'm processing the right data with the right data sources, because it is processing terabytes of data. Okay, when it is processing terabytes of data, it needs to be cross verified. It's going in the right direction. If anything is changing or it's going in the right direction, the secondary name node will periodically merge the changes. What is the name node is currently doing, and then what is the previous things happening. Those things will be, in case of any failure is happening, those image will be get used for the name node. The name node will be going to continue forever. Okay, sometimes if name node is internally need to cross verify, the data are stored in the secondary name node. It is like a backup, but it is not the real backup. Okay, that's the copy of the image of what is the name node is containing. Periodic fashion, like every 1 hour once, 20 minutes once, you take a backup, and the previous historical thread is going to cross verify with the secondary name node. When it is growing in the very large data size, it does not able to cross verify. So that's the time these secondary name nodes are helping the name node. It will take a backup and then it will merge. If it is keep on growing, the name node, if terabytes or petabytes of data you are processing, okay, in this metadata, it cannot able to handle the very large indexing of how many name node you have given to which client, which process, right? So secondary name node, that time will help for periodically merging the changes in the name node and edit log that so that it does not go into large in size. So that will keep a copy of image which can be used in case of failure of your name node. Clear on this?
One question.
Yeah.
Why can't I couldn't understand the keyword image. It is basically a file. So can be called as a file, but we call it as image. Can you please tell about the keyword image?
So there is a metadata. That's very important keyword in the name node as well as the secondary name node. The metadata, like a registry, that registry will maintain a copy of all the name node details, which name node is processing, which cluster, which data node is completed its activity, what is the current progress status. So that will be maintained in the metadata. This metadata, when is periodically is taking this file here, they call it as an image. In secondary name node, they'll call it as an image because it is taking a copy of the metadata from the name node and storing here as a backup. It is like it's not even a backup, it is taking a replication. Okay, when it's taking a replication, during that time we have to call that file as the image. It's not as a file. It is taking an image, it's like a mirror image of your name node. Periodically, it's taking the mirror image of your name node. Then you have to call it as an image. It will maintain a
Thanks, Mani. Now
it will maintain a history. Okay, 1 hour back, this is your backup file. 2 hours back, this is your backup file. Then it will merge. Later, the algorithm will take into merging the all the image file into one single file. Okay, then that time we have to call it as an image file. So now we'll move to the next one. The is called job tracker and task tracker. Job tracker is normally useful for your submitting your jobs, and task tracker is used for what are the tasks need to be performed in the MapReduce activities and the data node. Okay, and then you have the other things is called yarn. It's called the resource manager, yet another resource navigator. That's another thing. Okay, so these are the things you have to understand very clearly on this particular 1.0 and 2.0. So main stuff you have to understand in the 1.0 and 2.0. That's the next question we'll go to understand. But the Hadoop daemons, data node, name node, secondary name node, job tracker, and then task tracker, and then yarn. Okay. Now we'll move to the list of difference between a Hadoop 1.0 and 2.0. These are not very rare questions. These are very, very basic questions. Okay. Normally they'll directly go into Hadoop function, then they'll go for a Hive questions or a Spark questions. What is the difference between a Hadoop and Spark? In-memory operation, how it is working, how it is working on your project. So similar way they'll ask the question, but you have to understand the conceptual on all the conceptual level you have to understand. So what's the difference between Hadoop 1.0 and 2.0 and 3.0? What is your understanding about 1.0 and 2.0 and 3.0? That's where you have to prepare your interview. How many people are aware of Hadoop in this group? This is a very basic question. Please answer this. What is the simple difference between Hadoop 1.0 and 2.0?
High availability is the main difference, and Yarn yet another resource negotiator in Hadoop 2.0.
Yes. Yarn is the yet another resource negotiator. That's an important concept. But do you think that Yarn is not available on the Hadoop 1.0? During that time, what happened? Is that resources are not managed, the RAM size are not managed, the clusters are not managed. Whatever the program you're executing in the Hadoop 2.0, you can execute in the 1.0 framework also, right? Is that did not work? Is that Hadoop 1.0 does not have a MapReduce, it does not have a HDFS, or does not able to manage the resource? How that is working in the Hadoop 1.0 and 2.0? If you run your MapReduce program in 2.0 framework, same program you can run in the 1.0 also. There is no difference. Do you think you cannot able to execute this your MapReduce Java program or Python program in the whatever you written on the 2.0 file into 1.0 file, 1.0 framework? This kind of a question as the interviewer will ask you. Okay, logically they have to answer. You have written a file in the Hadoop 2.0. The same file, do you think you cannot able to execute even the Yarn is not there in 1.0? Do you think it will work or not? Should not take this much of time. You have to be very quickly answer. You have to answer very quickly. Simply you have to answer. It's like it's a rapid mode.
Even in Hadoop 1.0, it has internal resource manager, something, I don't know, it could not be named Hadoop, still it has internal resource management system.
Hadoop 1.0 also the Yarn was there, okay, but the components are separate XML files, or components are separate configuration file. The components are separate library files. These files are combined into a separate unit that they want to split into a separate module, and they are put into a separate module that's called Yarn module, yet another resource negotiator. In 1.0 also, the resources are maintained, the files are available across the on your zip file, the library files, the combination of the resource management file also, the driver files also available on your Hadoop 1.0. But later the time when they're growing the many files, they want to organize the resources effectively. They have taken all the components, they've added the new concept also, and then they kept as the separate components called Yarn. That's a difference. Okay. In 2.0, the failover concept, it will make the high availability, and then it is taking the name node, and then the name node fail, the passive name node. There are so many other concepts that they implemented, active and passive node on the name node. So that's why it is a high availability. In 2.0, it is very high availability. It is a in 1.0, it's a single point of failure. If name node is failure, everything is failure. But in 2.0, there is active and passive name node. That is, make sure that will have the high availability of your archives in the Hadoop 2.0. And in the 2.0 version, there is a MapReduce 2.0 version. It is not the MapReduce 1.0. Map MR2. We have to call it as a MR2. There is a three components. One is HDFS, Yarn, and MR2, MapReduce 2. These are the difference between a Hadoop 1.0 and 2.0. Clear on this? Shall we move to the next question?
Mani, any points on Hadoop 3.0, which is yet to come?
Yeah, it's yet to come. So I'll tell you, it's a detail I need to discuss in a separate webinar session. Maybe I'll take that as a separate webinar sessions. Then we can able to understand.
Oh.
Because I need to show the architecture of the 3.0, but not much difference. It's similar to 2.0, but there are some components they have changed. Now we'll try to answer what happens if two clients trying to access the same file in the HDFS. Only read the question, not the answer. What happens when two clients trying to access the same file on the HDFS?
The replica files will be helpful here.
No. See here, HDFS soft node exclusively write only. Okay. And first client contact the name node. The name node will be a supervisor for any kind of activity. If first name node will be grant a list to the client. The name node will decide whom and give the permission to take the file. Okay. And then only it will take the notify to the next client to access the stuff, otherwise it will reject the second client. You cannot able to, the two client cannot able to access the same file in the HDFS on the Hadoop environment. You have file on your HDFS. HDFS support exclusively write only format. Clear on the concept? This is conceptual, you have to think. You have file on your HDFS. If two clients are able to trying to access, okay, it will take the first client as access and second client it will reject. It's exclusively write only. Okay, I'll move to some of the other important questions. Rack awareness. Oh, okay, rack is it's a basic questions. These are very basic questions. I just want, it's very uncomfortable for me to spell these questions. What is the difference between traditional RDBMS and Hadoop? These are very, very basic questions. These are 5 years back questions. Okay, how to restart? Okay, these are some of the questions they will ask. How to start your Hadoop?
Mani, do we discuss any POCs in this session?
Not today, maybe later stage. So there's a 5 webinar is planned for this interview based stuff. Okay, that's a Snega is the right answer. So how can you restart and then stop on these webinars? Today we are going to discuss only on what are the various different job roles and the different types of interview questions people will. We are just kickstarting the first level of questions. Okay. What is MapReduce? What is MapReduce?
MapReduce is used for processing the data.
No. That's not the answer. There is a very important concept is there. Dinesh? Parallel processing using MapReduce, that's the wrong answer. Parallel processing, that's also wrong answer. There is a very important
The
concept.
data will be multiple maps, key value pair.
How MapReduce is
In the map, in the form of key value pair.
That's the answer. So that is the real answer. The key comma value pair concept only the MapReduce is working. So the MapReduce is the one of the distributed data processing. It's a framework. How the Hadoop framework, MapReduce is another framework. That framework will process your large data set in the clusters of computer in the using distributed programming. Okay, this MapReduce will work under the key comma value pair concept of key and value pair, which will process the very large data set. That's called MapReduce. MapReduce is a framework. Hadoop is the framework. Okay, two different framework is working on the Hadoop. Okay, let's move to some of the other questions. Aggregation record reader. Okay. Okay, the purpose of record reader. What are the various type of input file format in Hadoop? What are the various input file format in Hadoop? There are 5 types. Can somebody quickly describe what is the input file format? Who is working on Hadoop environment in this meeting? Text JSON, wrong. So Hadoop will
Labro
support
Kake.
structured data, unstructured data, and semi-structured data, right? But Hadoop is having their own input reader, input writer. There is a 5 different input file type, file format that will read your files. What are the various 5 different file format? Not only 5 different, it has numerous, but commonly widely used is 5 file format. Text input file format, key comma value file format, sequential file format. There are, what are others? Can you just quickly, rapidly have to answer? What are the 5 different file format? Go back and read this and then come back with the answer. It's a text input file format, key comma value per input file format, sequential input file format, sequential key comma value per input format, and one more is there. Check it out. Okay, and there are
Okay.
distributed cache. Okay, distributed. What is a distributed cache? Where is that? Okay, this is an important question. We'll move to this question. Okay, what is a zookeeper role? What is a zookeeper? Zookeeper is one of the tool where it will manage your Hadoop administrator they'll use for managing your clusters. It is like a system administrator, system monitoring tool, cluster monitoring tool. Zookeeper is the one of the system monitoring tool. Okay, and we'll move to the important questions only. Okay, MapReduce partitioner combiner. How MapReduce is working? That's another important question. So I told you the file format, right? Sequential file input file format. These are the important questions. Okay, sequential file input file format, key comma value file input format, and then text input file format. These are the different 5 varieties of input file formats are normally used. Okay, and what is a MapReduce combiner, sorter, shuffler, partitioner? How things are working? MapReduce, how it is working? Can you quickly tell that? How MapReduce is working? Rapidly you have to answer. It's working at the key comma value pair. That's nominal answer. You have to scenario based. You have to explain very clearly. That's how you have to prepare. You have to very clearly explain what is MapReduce, how MapReduce is working, and what are the ways you have to tell one example also. On that example, you have to clearly explain how the data are taking and the key and value, how it is mapping, and then how it is sorting, shuffling, combining, partitioning. Then it is processing your data, then it is reducing your output, and how it is writing on your HDFS. Till the time you have to explain this. You have to talk very boldly on these answers. You should not keep think of even a single second. Okay, that way you have to prepare. Okay, we'll think about some of the data nodes. What is the bag? In the PIC software, we'll normally call it as a data type. The data model is called bag. Tuple. What is tuple? Can somebody explain what is tuple and bag? What is the difference between tuple and bag? Not able to understand these questions, or we have to move into to different direction, then we have to come back these questions. How will take it further? Please tell me so that I will take it that way. Are you guys able to understand these questions or these keywords, or you are not able to understand? Then we'll take into the few other understanding webinar, then we'll come to this interview questions. I have a lot of interview questions.
I think we can proceed itself, Mani, because this sort of questions are basic questions.
So basic questions are you able to understand, or these are the questions they will ask. If you are these questions, how I'm taking it, these questions will make you to understand the concept. Okay, what is a tuple?
collection of fields in a row is called tuple.
Yes, collections of field is called one tuple. Collections of tuple is grouping into one bag. Okay, so collections of a bag is called one map. Similar way, it will go into different data model. Okay, what is okay? We'll go into another questions. I'll go for only good questions. What is a generic UDF in Hive? What is generic UDF in Hive? That's a very important question. Normally, you used to create UDF. What is UDF? User defined function. UDF. User defined function. What is a generic UDF in Hive?
In general, UDF is created to achieve uh, a logic which is not available in Hive. But I don't know what does the keyword generic mean. Why it is?
It's
What
very
is it?
simple. Whatever you are creating a Java function, that Java function you are going to call in the Hive. That's called generic UDF. So UDF which is created in the Java program, it serves specific, not to be covered under existing function in the Hive. These functions are not available in Hive, but you can create a function in the Java. That function you can able to call in the Hive program. That is called generic UDF. Okay, a Java function you are creating ABC function. You are creating your own function. That function you can able to call through in your generic. It's a UDF. It's called generic UDF. It can able to detect the type of input argument programmingly and provide the appropriate response to your UDF functions. Okay. Okay, we'll quickly understand how MapReduce is work. Can somebody quickly just answer this? How MapReduce is working? We'll just go through these 20 questions and then we'll close the session. What is the Hadoop MapReduce? Just read it. Read it. It is there. What is the Hadoop MapReduce? You should not wait for this much time.
It is a process where map is a separate process and reducer is a separate process. There will be a driver program,
yes,
which controls which should happen and at what time.
Yeah.
And there are other things, combiner, reduce, all those things in MapReduce.
Yes, correct. So what is shuffling in the MapReduce? What is the role of shuffling? Sorting, shuffling, partitioning, combiner. It's a two-phase, map phase and reduce phase. Right? In the MapReduce function, map is the one of the step and reducer is the another of the process. In between shuffler, sorting, combiner, partitioner, how it's working? It's an internal data transfer of performing sorting of your data types, sorting of data blocks and mapping values. Then it will process your data for a very faster execution. Sorting, shuffling, combiner, then partitioner will work in the default MapReduce in the all the MapReduce functionality. It will by framework will process. We no need to write any program for that. By default, it will work. Okay, I'll move to the next question. Explain what is the distributed cache in MapReduce framework. What is the distributed cache? Distributed cache.
Something like files are stored in cache memory.
Yes, it is like a temporary memory. It's like a cache memory. It will be the jar files or simple property files commonly used to file across all the nodes that will be kept in the distributed cache. Okay, that's called distributed cache in the MapReduce framework. Explain what is the name node in Hadoop. What is the name node?
Contains metadata of all the data that exists in data nodes.
Name node in the Hadoop is a node where it will provide the name for your data blocks. Okay, it is stored, it is available in the HDFS. All the file location, file informations are stored in the HDFS. The name node are center point of your HDFS file system. It keep the records of all the files in file system and track where the file is located, what the file is processed by which client, which cluster is processing, on which distributed machines it is processing on the current progress. It has been maintained by the name node. Explain what is the job tracker in Hadoop and what are the actions are followed. Job tracker, task tracker. What is the difference between task tracker and job tracker? What is the difference between
Job
task tracker and
job tracker runs in main node and task tracker will run in data nodes. Job tracker will assign that job into different splits and it will assign to each task tracker.
okay? So what is the heartbeat in HDFS? How many milliseconds this will work? Heartbeat. What is the heartbeat in HDFS?
Data nodes sends its report itself to name node that I am available. Data nodes or data blocks will send to name node.
Yeah, it will acknowledge still I am progressing to the name node. The data node will report to name node. The data packet, the data block will report to the data node. It's not a data block. Data node will report to the name node. Still I am progressing my data blocks. Don't kill me. Okay. You will still wait for my response. So if anything is a network failure is happen or slowness is happen, this name node will keep watch it. Okay, I'm not able to get your data, whether you're working or you are not working. If you're not working, I'll move to the next backup and then I'll process the file. When network is failure, it will move to the next machine. It will not, don't delay that file progress. So by default, it will maintain the 30 millisecond. Okay. By default, this name node acknowledgement to a data node will be 30 millisecond of time. It will acknowledge to the heartbeat will go to the from data node to name node. Explain what is a combiner and what should be combiner job in the MapReduce. What is combiner? Combiner will be combine your data blocks, map key value and value into while progressing the MapReduce function. It will combine your jobs. It will combine your MapReduce program of output results. It will combine, okay, and it will move forward to the reducer. It is transferred to the your reducer. Combiner will combine your result set and then it will transfer to the reducer. What happened when data node fail? What happened when your data node fail? What will do? Quickly answer this.
Name node will refer to other data nodes which contains data blocks that were exist in the failed data node. And it will start replicating to different data nodes other than the failed one.
No, wrong answer. During that time it will do the replication. When the replication will start?
The failed replication, once again, name node will start to replicate in some different data nodes, whichever that is in failed data node.
No, that's not his first duty. What happened when data node fail? Any other? Quickly answer. Saini Thomas, Srinivas Reddy, Sasi,
Backups.
Manoj, Dinesh, Bala, Krish, Parthiban. What happened when data nodes fail? If one data node is failed, it will not take a backup. It will not do the any other activity. It will, when the data node stores into data node, from master node to data node, data block, it will take a replication by default 3 times. You can increase to 10 times also. You can decrease to 0 time also. It's up to you. You can change the configuration file. But Hadoop is saying by default, I'll make the 3 replication so that I'll make sure that if any system is failure, you have the backup of your file so that it will continue for your progressing. Okay. If you are increasing, if you have 100 server you can change the configuration into 10 times replication so that you never go for a failure model till it is progressing, hours of hours progressing. If you are putting 0 replication, if anything's failure is happen, Hadoop is not responsible. It is your responsibility because I will change the configuration file to with no replication. When data node fail, it will move to the next backup of same data block. If it is processing 125 block, then it will have 125 block in the computer 2 and computer 5. It will decide where it need to replicate. From there, it will go back to the master node. The 125 block is not able to process in the data node computer 1. Then it will go back to it will report to the master node. Then the master node kill this data node, and then it will move back to the second replicated copy where it is available on the data node 2, and it will kickstart the progress and it will continue the progress. Okay. The job tracker will manage the name node if anything failure. The job tracker and name node will manage the detection of failure. In failure of all the tasks will be rescheduled to the next available node. Name node replicate the user data node into the another node. Okay. So that is the 3 activity will be performed by the data node fail. Explain what is the speculative execution. These are very old questions. I'll just go to the next questions. MapReduce is fine. Okay, explain MapReduce partitioner. This is an important question. Explain MapReduce partition. What is a partition? Quickly answer, guys. What is a MapReduce partitioner? Just go and read this. The answers are there. The functions of MapReduce partition will make sure that all the values are in a single key goes the same reducer. Eventually, it will help the distributed map output over the reducer. Okay. The partition will be divided into multiple smaller chunks. Then later it will be combined into one single reducer. Same reducer, it will be process the output. Clear on this? Explain what is the difference between an input split and an HDFS block. This is a very, very important question. What is the input split? That's an important question. And what is the difference between an input split and then HDFS block? What is the input split? Input splits, very important question. How much of the block size in Hadoop environment? What is the block size? Guys, are you there? 128 MB, okay. Normally it is 64 MB, nowadays it is 128 MB, that's perfect. And are they going to process entirely 128 MB every time? You want to process your text file is containing or your CSV file is containing 1 lakh record, okay. You want to process 64 MB of block size. First 64 MB block size is containing 1000 records. Second 64 MB block is containing another 1000 records. Now how MapReduce's work is, it will divide again the 1000 record into smaller units of 2 record, 3 record, 5 record kind of ways. That's called input split. Smallest to decomposed activity level, it will split into your block into very smaller unit. That's called input split. Then it will process, again it will map to the input split, it will be mapping into another level of key comma value pair to do the comparison and process in a very, very faster way. Clear on this? What is input split? HDFS block is the whole block and inputs block is the decomposed smallest unit of your input packets. Okay. What is the, explain what happened in the text input format. So it will be process your key comma value pair of your data will be get readed in the files, text input file format. It's an input file format. It can able to read the text file. Then we'll go to the other questions. Explain scoop in the Hadoop. What is scoop? What is the usage of scoop? Just tell me what is the usage of scoop? What is scoop in Hadoop? What is the purpose of
Transfer between CMS and HDFS.
it will transform the
Two
data
different
between the
operations.
normal Oracle or SQL Server database into a HDFS of Hadoop database system. Yes, that is itself is specified the right answer. This tool will help you to transfer the data into our normal SQL Server Oracle into processing your MapReduce function. It can able to import and export the large data, terabytes or gigabytes of data into your HDFS. Transfer your data between RDBMS to HDFS. What is the sequential file input format? I explained 5 different file format is right. One of the file format is sequential file input format. It is reading a file in the sequence manner. Audio file, video file and all you can use through sequential file input format. Okay. So explain, okay, this is not required. Set mapper is not required. Okay, fine. So far we understand the very basic questions of basic stuff. Similar way you'll understand so many complex questions. Other interview questions will get into in subsequent webinars. Okay. Any other question, please post me. I'll try to share some of the resume format and try to work it out on your resume. Then based on that, if anybody need help, just contact me. Okay. Thanks all. Thanks for joining. We'll wind up for that. If anybody has any other question, please ask me. I'll wait for 2 minutes.
Thank you.
Thank you.